Stagnation is the enemy of freshness. Whether it's political stagnation, spiritual stagnation, emotional stagnation, academic stagnation, financial stagnation, stagnation is not a friend. I've been privileged to speak to over 150,000 people each year across North America, Europe, and in Africa, reminding people that the potential within them is much more powerful than the problems that confront them. I'm Dr. Selflessness, the voice against stagnation. Hello, and welcome to the Voice Against Stagnation show. This is Dr. Selflessness. I am the voice against stagnation. I believe in success. That's why I'm behaving it. And because I'm behaving it, I see myself becoming it. Today's show is going to be a great and phenomenal. Why? Because I have someone very exciting, full of life, full of energy. He has accomplished a lot. His name is T.J. Kostecki. And I'm so excited that he is here. We're going to be talking about finding fulfillment in life and also making the most out of life. There's a lot you can get out of life, trust me. And there is no room for stagnation. So I want to welcome TJ right now. So TJ, I'm so excited that you're in the studio with me today. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tell my viewers more about you.
My purpose is helping other people find their purpose in life. And it's been a journey. It didn't just happen. I didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, this is your purpose to help other people. You know, I've been very fortunate to have traveled many places around the world and worked at several universities. I've worked at 6 different universities. Here I've been for 20 years now.
Wow.
So in my travels, I've met fascinating people that I've learned so much from every one of them. And one of the things that's very important that I've learned is that it doesn't matter who you are. I've met presidents, I've met people that are not famous, but the most important thing is to treat everyone well.
Wow.
And to be authentic in who you are and what you're doing. That's the biggest message that has resonated with me throughout my adult life. And as I get older, it resonates even greater.
Awesome. I'm so excited you're here. You know, I read your email, the email you sent to me. I saw on the signature line, I said, I have to start with this. It says, surround yourself with the dreamers and the doers, the believers and thinkers, but most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within you, even when you don't see it yourself. This is by Edmund Lee, but you have it in your email signature line. So why do you put it there?
Well, it's critical. One of the things about growth is surrounding yourself with great people, surrounding yourself with positivity. When you surround yourself with people that believe in you and you believe in them, then collectively you're so much more powerful. You could grow so much more. And we're constantly influencing people as well, in our lives. And if you think about our lives in terms of who made a difference in your life and who believed in you, others perhaps believe in you more than you believe in yourself. One of the things I talk about in our workshop is I asked my students or the audience, I said, think of someone who in your life perhaps thought of something that you did that was special, that believed in you, that saw a quality more so than you saw in yourself along the way. And every person that I've spoken to, almost everyone, not everyone, has come up with, there's somebody, whether it's a mother, a father, an uncle, a teacher, a professor, a peer that did that. I just had a conversation actually this weekend with someone, and I posed the same question. And the one girl was with her friend, and she said, well, she's the one that believed in me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think those are important things to recognize the power you have of believing in others and surrounding yourself with people that believe in you.
Wow, you nailed it. You said something very, very important. Be authentic. Treat everyone well. Now, I want to ask you a question based on your bio. I see that you're a people's person. I mean, how did you find something worth living for? Or do I use the word worth dying for?
Yeah.
Because it seems to be in you.
Sure.
How did you find it? Because I know that's what you do for others. You are trying to help them find that.
Sure.
How did you find yours?
So about 15 years ago, I had double bypass open heart surgery at a young age of 44, and it was unexpected. And I was healthy and I was feeling great, but my genetics, unfortunately, were not the best, even though I was doing things. So I was fortunate to have had a great doctor, and they caught it before things got worse. And out of that experience, I started reevaluating, when you're really down, when you're really low, when things aren't going well, you start thinking about what's important in your life, because we're constantly trying to motivate ourselves to do better in our career, at home with our families, of course. So I took a step back and I started really appreciating what I had, because there was a time that I had of recovery, a slow recovery, and I started looking around and saying, you know what, I have so much to be grateful for. And the grateful thing is the people in my life, and everyone in my life, and everyone in my life is important. And what happened was, as I move along, and I tied this into the workshop, one of the things I ask everyone is, I ask a question. I say, what is the most important moment in your life? And there's so many different answers I get. I asked a gentleman once, and he gave me 5 minutes worth of beautiful experiences he's had in his life. And inevitably that they ask me my most important moment in my life. And I look in the eyes and I say, this moment.
Wow.
This moment right here, right now, with you in this place is the most important moment in my life. And when I discovered that, for me, this moment became so much richer. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Like the sounds, we could gently hear some sounds.
Yes.
The lights reflecting.
Correct.
The richness of the colors.
Wow.
Everything became so much more richer for me. And at one point, eventually, and not to be morbid, please understand, but in another way, at one point, this will be the last moment in our life.
Wow.
And I want to make sure that my last moment in my life is going to be a great moment.
I like that.
And when I started thinking about that, Derek, does that make sense? I started thinking about that. I said, everything became important. Everything became brighter, clearer for me. And I valued things so much more when I made that personal discovery in my own journey.
Wow. I love that. I love that. We take a lot of things for granted, but from what you just said now, you need to place value on what you have and place value on the moment. It's very, very important. And let's talk about the 5 Ps.
The 5 Ps,
of vision, training, for life.
Awesome. Thank you.
I want you to talk about it because I know you are into transformational leadership.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, thanks. So the 5 Ps of transformational leadership, 5 Ps are, it was first, the analogy was a soccer analogy, because I'm a soccer coach, and I teach vision. I teach players to see, to scan, to take in as much information as possible. And the more you see, obviously, you're able to make great decisions. So I came up with this initially for soccer, but as we were applying it to soccer, I realized this is these are life skills. So the 5 Ps are perceive, process, plan, perform, and persist.
Wow.
Perceive, process, plan, perform, and persist.
Yes.
So perception is the most important thing. The wider, the brighter your perception is, your ability to process so much information is much greater.
I agree with
Make a plan, execute it, and the persistence is the habit. So when things become a habit, they become automatic, that automatic habit loop. So the habit brings you back to the first P, which is perception. So as you apply this in your life, we met George, we met John over here before he came in here. George and John are helping us and helping you make this event happen.
Correct.
They're behind the camera.
Correct.
Nobody knows them. They know their name now.
Correct.
But they're an integral part of what we do.
Correct.
And as you apply those 5 Ps into your life, you recognize there's so much around you, so many gifts here, and to appreciate those gifts and to learn and to grow from those gifts. For example, curiosity.
Yes.
The more perceptive you are, the more curious you become. Because you see things that you've never seen before.
I agree with you.
You don't walk around down the street with tunnel vision, right? You pull it away, right? And it helps you find your purpose.
Correct.
What is our purpose? And we're talking about what's our purpose in life. That's always the question. People ask you, we're trying to find what your purpose is, discovery.
Yes.
Well, to find your purpose, pull the blinders away. Take time to talk, take time to listen to people, take time to engage in the moments. So that's the 5 Ps and how in a small way. We apply it, and I talk about that in the workshop.
You mentioned something about habit. A lot of people, they have habit that hinders them, that limits them.
Okay.
So what are those?
Yeah.
Talk more a little bit
Right.
about habits.
Right. Great. Yeah. There's habits are the things that we do automatically,
Yes.
naturally, right? So, and we could change our habits.
Yes.
We have the power and the ability to change the way we think.
Yes.
We have the power to influence our mind and
Correct.
our attitudes. You have a choice. One of the things I talk about with my team is you have two choices. You're either bringing energy or you're taking energy away.
Correct.
At all times. And it could be even listening. You could be listening and bringing energy. You follow me? But which are you going to do? Are you going to bring energy or take energy away? So once you recognize that, I want to bring energy everywhere I'm going, and that could be listening like you're doing, then that becomes a habit. So on the highest levels, every Olympic athlete practices visualization. Visualization is seeing yourself be successful.
Wow.
Visualization,
Ability to see yourself successful.
being successful. Every athlete practices that. In fact, in some sports, they practice mental training, visualization, more than actually the physical training. And what happens is that when you see yourself, imagine it, you become that person. So the more you do that, the more you apply visualization and the practice of doing it, not just thinking about it, but applying it in your daily life and the daily things that you're doing, you start becoming that
I
person.
love that. I love that. I know you walk around the youths a lot, so you can understand the challenges that they go through.
Yes, sir.
Now, based on your experience, what are those kind of what are those limitations right now that they have currently? Because these are the days of technology. Some of them that are easily distracted. Because you walk around these people, and how can we help them?
Great question. So a couple things. One is that it's important for youth to have discipline in their life and to establish discipline in their life, because we have so many riches of things that take our attention, so many different things. So wanting to make a change, first you have to make a decision. I'm going to make a change and I'm going to work at it. And part of it is the discipline. Now, how are some of the things that you can do that? One is that, thinking about what do I want to become and having a plan of action. So what's that plan of action? One of the things we talk about is when you're engaged and appreciating what you're doing, then you're able to start growing and taking chances and not being afraid to take risks. So one of the things I talk about in the workshops and in my class also is the grateful list. Is about being happy. Oftentimes our kids are, we talked about earlier off camera when you were in Africa, and kids are not happy, but they're wearing all these expensive sneakers and gear and stuff like that because they think that is what's going to bring them satisfaction, right? Or on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram, likes and all this other stuff that I don't have enough of that. So I'm trying to become somebody that I'm not. Well, you know what? You have this greatness within you. We all have this greatness within us.
I like that.
But we have to circle back and think about what those things are. Just like I shared the story with me at the beginning, what happened with me. But it doesn't have to be traumatic. You don't have to have a heart disease like I did. So what we talk about, and I practice and with my students, that we keep a grateful list. So every morning, for example, and I have students in my class, they have to do this part of their assignment. They have to write 3 things that they're most grateful for that happened to them the day before, every single morning in a journal.
Wow.
And then 3 goals for the day. 3 specific measurable goals for the day.
Measurable goals.
Measurable goals for them accomplished. So to break down, so instead of trying to, I want to be this or that, which seems insurmountable oftentimes for us, is to break it down to the small measurable goals. And what happens is, so every morning, immediately they think about the activity, what happened the day before. And you could do this at night. There's also an evening activity you could do. But I prefer to have them do it in the morning. And I do it in the morning so that it starts my day off on feeling right. Cool. So 3 things you're grateful for. And for me, can I share my example? So when I woke up this morning, I was grateful for, so the very first thing I do when I wake up every morning is I'm a spiritual person. So I thank God for being alive another day on this planet. And you're spiritual, thank your God, or thank the earth, the God of the earth, yes. Right? Immediately. I don't look at my phone, I don't look at messages right away. And then I think about the three things I'm most grateful for. So this morning it was going to the doctor and helping with my back. Grateful that I have a doctor, someone that could take care of me.
I love that.
All right. The second thing that I was grateful for was a friend had reached out to me and saw how I was doing. And she was a very important part in my life when I was struggling at one point. So she reached out. I'm grateful to have that friend.
That's good.
And the third thing was very simple, was a meal that I made for myself last night.
Oh, I like that.
The simple part of the meal and how delicious it was. So when I woke up in the morning, right away I'm joyous, right away I'm happy. And then my three goals. So my three goals for today were to be powerful, to be persuasive, to be honest, to be authentic today with you and your audience. And I'm going to do that. I know
And you're doing that already.
Thank you. So I visualize that, I visualize that I'm going to make a difference with one person at least out there today. You follow me? And then it was, I'm going to be on time. I want to make sure I'm early, so because this is the first time I've been in this place.
Yeah.
All right. And the third thing is, who can I help? Who can I help today? And I've already helped someone who reached out to me.
I see.
So those are my three goals for the day. All right. So how does that work more on a habit forming? Because you talk about habit.
Yeah.
So we have a thing in our brains called myelin. Okay. So myelin is the habit loop. So as I pick up the water and I drink it, easy for me to do.
Yes.
As a child, we struggled to do that, right? We struggle to pick up water. Had to learn that habit. So the myelin in our brain is a thread, myelin sheath, that helps us do things that become automatic. Same way with what you put in your brain. What you put in your head. You put good things in, they stick. You put good ideas and good things in your head, they stick. You put bad ideas in your head that you don't trust yourself, trust other people, you doubt, they stick.
That's true.
So a very important part in terms of how to help young people move forward is to put good things in their head and work at those good things. Not just good things that are going to stay there, but good things that they want to do with their life, good things that they appreciate.
Wow. You nailed it. The power of appreciation, the power of the moment. I like that. Now, why integrity matters? Because I know you work with, a lot of people, you travel all over the world.
Yeah.
Why integrity matters?
Integrity is everything. I have a cousin who is a close friend. He's basically like my brother. George is his name, and he lives locally here as well. And when I used to do the workshops and integrity was in there, and it was in the middle, he said to me, he goes, I think you should put that as the first thing. And I said, well, it's very important because I think it's the most important. And this was about 3 years ago. And as I go through more workshops and talk to people and live my life, I realize integrity is so critical. I love this saying. If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters.
That's so true.
So how does it fit into life? We are constantly modeling for people. You and I right now are modeling for an audience. I don't know how many people, 1, 2, 5, 10, 1,000, I don't know what it is. But we are modeling. Our behavior is modeling for other people. We don't have to be in this forum to model. Every day we're modeling. We're modeling for our spouses. We're modeling for our children, our coworkers, our friends all the time. Modeling means that people copy your behavior. Up to 92% of all communication is nonverbal. Nonverbal, not just what you say, but how you look, how you perform, your eyebrow, everything. Your body language, are you closed or are you open? That's another thing we talk about in the workshop, about your body language. How to communicate, make sure you're open, make sure you're learning. So about several months ago, I received an email, a Facebook message from a former player of mine. Derek, I coached him. He says, I'm glad to see you on Facebook. You might not remember me. You'd coached me when I was 14 years old. Derek, this was over 30 years ago.
Over 30 years.
And I remembered him. I remembered it. He said, I just want to let you know, you told me something when I was 14 years old that stuck with me. I had played well in a game, but you took me aside and you said, you know something, Joseph? You could do much better. And the way you deliver that, I remembered that. And I've used that same messaging with the players that I coach, with my own children, and with the people I manage in my company. So this was 30 years ago. I don't remember saying this to this young man, But naturally, the takeaway is that there was modeling going on over
Correct.
there. There's modeling that influenced them.
Consciously and unconsciously. Wow.
So every day, each and every one of us is doing that and can do that. So make sure your integrity is spot on. Make sure you're doing the right things to make this world better, so your kids are better, so your colleagues are better, to lift everyone up.
You got it. DJ, I'm so excited here. You are nailing it. You are nailing it. Now, now, what is the most important moment in your life?
It's this one. Like I said, this is the most important moment of my life. My most important in my life is right here, being with you right now. This is absolutely the most
I
important
think
moment.
we've covered that.
Yeah. That's okay.
Okay.
That's all right. No worries.
We
It's all
covered
right.
that.
It's okay.
That's
I'm not changing that.
Yeah.
That sticks with me,
I
buddy.
got you. Live in the
High
moment.
five me.
I got you. And be grateful.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell me about. You talk about good karma.
Yeah.
How can you make the world
Wow.
a better place?
Little things. I'll give you a topical example. About 20 minutes ago, I'm walking here, and the beautiful campus of Princeton University is right here around the corner. And as I was walking along, students are crisscrossing, and I look up ahead, and there's a half-eaten apple on the sidewalk, about 20 yards ahead of me. And a group of students are walking past, and a young man kicks the apple out of his way, and they walk past. So I leaned over and I picked up the apple, and there was a trash can about 10 yards away, and I threw it away. Why did I do that? I mean, I don't work for Princeton University. I don't work for the sanitation department of the town of Princeton, but it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. I live in a 4th floor apartment in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn, and there's no elevator, and it's the top floor. And there are 2 apartments on each floor, and it's a small, narrow hallway. And inevitably, when I come home from work, there are packages that people order that when they get home, they're going to carry upstairs. So I've lived there for 2 years now. So first time I'm there, I see a package, I pick it up, it says apartment 2A. I bring it, I leave it apartment 2A, and I walk upstairs. I do this all the time. Now, I don't know any of the people that live in those apartments, Derek.
And they don't even know you are doing it.
They don't even know that I'm doing it, okay? They don't even know who I am.
Good stuff.
I've said hi and hello to people, but they have no idea. But you know what started happening all of a sudden? I don't get a lot of packages, but I came home one day. You know what happened? At the top floor, there was a package sitting outside my door. So someone figured it out, I don't know how, and decided to do the same thing.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Cool.
Is that awesome?
Cool business.
I don't even know who they are, but that's, again, doing the right thing.
I got you. Wow. I love that. Influencing others.
Last quick story with that one, and then I know we got a couple things. In Ukraine, I mentioned to you, we were doing a workshop in Ukraine last year, and the president of the soccer club, after I did the workshop for the high school students, and I touched this in the workshop, the next day we're going to the soccer field, walking along, and he is picking up trash and throwing the trash away. So, again, you know, ability to model and to change behavior.
Wow. You nailed it. You know, you said something very important at the beginning of this show. You said be authentic and care. I mean, explain a little bit about that.
I think we all are striving to meet people that are authentic, and I love the word authentic. You know, people sometimes feel, well, is it real, or are you really not real? I think authentic is the best descriptor, because oftentimes we're not sure how are people reacting to us. You know, the leadership we talk about as being transformational.
Correct.
Transactional leadership, there's enough workshops on how to do that, how to make money or transact and to make it better for me, or maybe make it better for both of us. That's a transaction. You do something for me, I do something for you. Transformational is give more, take less.
Wow.
Give more, take less. So you know, that's a piece I believe that we need more of. We need more of.
Do you believe that everybody has something to give?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's your desire to want to give. It's your desire to want to give. Yeah. And the big part is being grateful. Being grateful. We have a coach, Roy, a softball coach, who's a legend at our university, and he's a phenomenal speaker. And he has a great thing he talks about at the end of the year to everyone. He says, it's impossible to be grateful and sad.
Mm.
You can't.
Wow.
If
It's
you
impossible to
be
be grateful
and sad
at the same time. It's
and
not
sad.
possible.
Not
Wow.
possible. Not
I
possible.
like that.
If you're grateful,
That's profound.
you're grateful, you're happy, you can't be sad. You can't be down if you're grateful.
Wow. And it goes the other way too. Wow, that is awesome. Now we are coming to the end of this show. Let's talk about this. You say you want to share the starfish story.
Yeah.
Just share that.
Can I do? Great. Thank you. Yeah, we're wrapping up over here. So this is my version, and when I finish, whenever I complete my talks, I share this about believing yourself and believing what you're doing. So a man was walking along the ocean in the South Pacific, and it was scorching. It was so hot, his feet were burning underneath him, and he had to wade into the water, and he cooled off his feet. And as he's walking along, he looks over and he sees all these starfish that have washed ashore in the ocean, drying up, and he keeps on walking. And as he's walking, he looks up ahead and he sees a guy who's taking one starfish at a time and throwing him back in the water. As he gets closer, he says, what are you doing? And the man looks at him and says, I'm saving the starfish. And he laughs. He says, what are you, crazy? You're not going to make a difference. There's thousands of starfish here. They're drying, they're dying. With that, the man leans over and he picks up one starfish and he wades into the water and he reaches back, and with all his might, he tosses his starfish as far as he can and watches as it disappears in the ocean. And then he turns and says, I just made a difference with that one. All you have to do is make a difference with one.
Wow. I love that. You nailed it. Well, we are coming to the end of the show, and with me is TJ. He's been giving out the best of the best. I know you are sinking it in. If you have one word for the viewers, I want you to look into the camera and just one or two words for viewers. What would that be?
If you're looking to find your purpose and looking to move forward in your life, and finding ways to do that, write down the things that you want to be. Write down things, put down a list of the things that you want to be in your life that are important to you, that you'd like to achieve. Write down the things that you're grateful for, the gratitude that you have. What are all the things that you're grateful for? Look at those two lists, and either starting tonight or tomorrow morning, start thinking about each of those two lists and start moving towards your goal.
Wow. We've come to the end of this show, and I want to thank you, TJ, also my viewers. I appreciate the time you've spent, giving us the best. And I look forward to, having you in the studio one more time, if you don't mind.
I would love to be back.
All right. Until then, thank you, and stay blessed, stay strong, stay motivated. Thank you.